Welcome, Aquarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I pulled for you the Justice card for this full blood moon in Virgo, total lunar eclipse energy. A little bit about the full moon. This is part of a cycle. This is the first of the eclipse cycle. The second part is in September of this year, and the third part is in March of 2026. So you may look, if you're cognizant of your chart information, your horoscope, what happened to you during the last full moon in Pisces, which was probably in August, perhaps September of last year. But in general, this is really goddess energy that is coming up for all of us. Our sensitivity to emotions in general, being sensitized to the feelings of others and things. The intuition is highly magnified here so that you are gaining information from all kinds of invisible sources that you cannot account for. But overall, this is giving you a kind of strength and clarity that is allowing you to look more closely at things about yourself you're not comfortable with. So I'll stop there and describe more about the energy of the Justice that is particularly highlighting for Aquarians your long-term relationships, your significant relationships, ones in which you manage resources with others. The Justice card is bringing to mind a story in which you once put out into the universe a way in which you were going to control your relationships and not be controlled by them. This is a way that you felt that you could dominate, for lack of a better word, your choices, make decisions about your love life, your significant others in your life in a way that would provide you with a measure of safety, independence, a way that you could ultimately keep true love, true connection, true vulnerability at arm's length. And throughout, over time, this has come back to bite you. You are now looking at the consequences of this, either literally in those specific relationships that you resolved such, and it's also helping you see how you have quashed the potential in relationships that ultimately were essentially highly significant, highly meaningful to you. And in some ways, how you may have lost that chance. But through your learning and taking responsibility for your intentions in the past regarding those relationships, you now understand that you were actually in the same place, the same holding pattern, the same protective mode as others whom you would be open to communicating with now. It isn't about restarting a relationship. It's about being honest about where you were and being honest about your role in the lack of highly promising relationship not taking off. And it doesn't mean that if you had been more authentic at the time in the past that the relationship would have worked, not necessarily, because there's someone else involved. But you would be at greater peace at this time and clear about the way forward in terms of relationship. Nevertheless, I do feel that you have gained the wisdom, are gaining the wisdom, no matter where that relationship is. If that relationship has long since moved on without you, you've come to accept that what feels like rejection in a way that you couldn't understand it and you couldn't accept it in the past. But this rejection is honest. Now you know what has been lost, not to you, You've gained the lesson, you've gained the many lessons of this relationship and it not succeeding. But to the other person, you now understand that you are the prize, that you didn't need to negotiate. You didn't need to hold yourself back. You didn't need to calculate. But now you understand that your value is such that there is other love, there is other connections out there. In fact, you're appreciating all the love that you have, all the support that you have in your life. This is a general reading, Aquarius. That was kind of long-winded. If you're interested in a personal reading, because this one may not resonate for you, information for that is in the description box below. I thank you, new and old, for joining me and spending some much valued time with me today. So you're being seen by others. You're identifying yourself as the Queen of Cups, and I believe this is a reflection of your own healing journey. This relationship that I named is emblematic, perhaps, of a relationship style of yours, a way to maintain your independence, to not allow yourself to be vulnerable or controlled by someone else. This has required a lot of healing, and you're still in the throes of really understanding the role that you played, the intentions that you set out into the world at the time that this opportunity or these opportunities evolved, and the way in which you played yourself, really. And so the healing is that much deeper. The sense of forgiveness, the sense of honoring the loss, the sadness, the regret that you've experienced, but actually recognizing ultimately that rejection is protection, that these relationships or this particular relationship was not for you. No matter what you felt, it was for you to learn. And that's exactly what you're doing. And you're doing it in such a loving, graceful way. You're not talking to yourself in the language that you once implemented in identifying this potential soul bond. In the first house, the Six of Swords is about, yes, healing, moving away from a situation. And it feels so much to me that this is about a long-term relationship. Even if a relationship never fully developed, there is a connection with someone with whom you were deeply bonded. And it's working out the push and pull of that over years throughout other relationships, quite possibly, is something that you are now ready to let go of. You're finally ready to understand that there is a way that you can find peace and acceptance by simply turning away from the struggle, a place where you were never seen, you were never heard, and as much as that can have been of your own making, you still see that this was intentional in terms of teaching you the things that you need to understand about yourself. In the fourth house, the house of your home, your foundation, your soul, your family, the Two of Pentacles is about the way that you have already done the reflecting over your past, looking at your actions and behaviors that you now are in a position to improve upon, to integrate that wisdom, that learning, those lessons into your proposal moving forward. Now you have the tasks at hand before you that are remedying the situation for you. And of course, anything that improves you improves others in your sphere. Others see that you are moving in a different direction. You're talking to yourself in a different way. You're looking to different goals, less exclusive goals, less about controlling the narrative and more about learning from the opportunities that you're creating from yourself. no longer an assumption that you know the answer. So this is a profound way in which you are integrating these lessons into who you are. And it's the attitude, it's the approach that is so visible to others. It's a mindset that dictates your actions, that makes you productive, not in control. In the 7th house of significant others, the 8 of Pentacles, and this is so beautiful, so perfect. This, in fact, is the way that you have been investing in yourself. Understanding that the more whole you feel within you, the more you commit to your goals, you pursue your dreams, you improve upon your skills, you develop your character, the more whole and prepared you are to make connections with others who are similarly whole. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for a fairy tale any longer. You understand that as you work, as you commit, as you persevere, so are those you're connecting to. That's the quality of individual you understand you can ally yourself with. And this is about really on the path to success. You want to produce something. You want to create something. It's not about feeling good about yourself. This is about being a better person to the extent that you can be, so that you can work towards the goals that are about much of the world, far beyond you as an individual. That's your zone. If this reading is resonating for you, Aquarius, please like this video, please share this with others, and certainly please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I really do appreciate all the ways that I am supported by you, in whatever way that is. And I pulled the loneliness card, which reads, I know that I am never alone. And I think this is making a really clear connection to the story that I see before me in the cards. I think you're understanding it too. The ways in which you opted to be independent, alone, in control, left you alone. And it's not about being alone. It's about working with others. Being alone is not the fear for you. Being lonely is not who you are. Being alone for you is your opportunity to do the inner work that you now recognize you must do in order to reach the goals that you've set before yourself. To honor others in the way that you want to be honored, that you're learning to honor yourself. Loneliness is the rejection that you've experienced. Perhaps the rejection that you have accomplished without even realizing it. It's making others suffer or causing the suffering of others. So you're clear that relationship is primarily about the relationship with yourself. And that is never a lonely relationship, but it is one that one cultivates alone. In the 1st house, the 6 of Swords is clarified by the King of Swords. I feel that you are absolutely assertive about having those conversations about past experiences, perhaps past relationships, long-term relationships. So this includes people you work with, perhaps other significant partners have worked with you in the past, or you share a professional skill or sphere of activities. But you are about challenging your assumptions now that you have challenged your own. Always being the good person, always seeing the bigger picture, always working on behalf of the collective. That wasn't always you. and how you betrayed that in the past, you now understand how you are currently challenging those old beliefs that didn't seem weird, didn't seem out of pocket, didn't seem inappropriate. They just seem like you trying to get your way. And you understand your way, the collective you're a part of, the world that you're a part of, and what relationship with yourself means for your relationship with others. But you're open to talking about this, learning more about it, perhaps even having discussions with those individuals that you have separated from. In the fourth house, the Two of Pentacles is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles, one of my absolutely favorite cards. This is absolutely verifying that your independence is your home. Being in your own sacred space, being able to stand on your principles as a result of your independence. And independence doesn't mean that you're not in relationship, that you are alone, not at all. It simply means that those you are connected with are similarly whole, independent, able to stand on their principles, to speak their truth in good, what is the expression I'm trying to think of? On good terms. I'm not sure what I mean, but something about that. But you are clear about how you invest in yourself to pursue the interests, the goals that are important to you, how you continue to cultivate those interests and desires, your garden, in a way that is abundant and allows you the privilege to invest in the things that are aligned with you and your needs. In the seventh house of significant relationships, the Eight of Pentacles is clarified by the Ace of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot of illumination around relationships. It feels like there's a particular relationship where you felt a victim. You felt used, ill-used, abused, and thrown aside. And you're understanding the deeper experience that you gain from that, the deeper growth, illumination, clarity about your role and responsibility in that. And this is important because this is about equity, this is about justice, this is about the truth. And this is a lesson that can be applied to other areas of shared endeavor, other things that you manage with others, understanding how your intentionality sets up the stage for transparency, how important transparency is in relationships, how important it is to be able to communicate clearly. I think this is a big lesson for you, Aquarius. In the 10th house, the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. So your emotional healing is dictating the actions that you produce, the path you're taking. It's clearing out the way for you to move from a place of heart desire, heart intentionality, authenticity. And you're now planning, considering the path forward, the next step to take in view of the justice you've just given yourself and others. But finding that justice is what is dictating your next move. Because you're doing it, you're exploring this terrain, you're discovering this terrain of abundance, of success, of practical action towards your goals in a new way. You only need to take one step at a time. You don't need to know the whole plan. You don't need all the answers. I'm going to finish up your reading, Aquarius, with a crystal oracle and sincerely hope that this reading has been valuable to you. And I've pulled the Rainbow Moonstone. That's what it's called. And this is about the crown chakra, and this is describing the access to our ancestry, our divinity, where our intuition often evolves from. The key word is calmness. To calm your monkey mind, do not feed the animal. If you've enjoyed this content, Aquarius, please check out the video above. And until next time, namaste.